Alright lads, today we're going to talk about suspension and wheel setup. I'm an old school guy, I like to use everything manual as most as I can. I've stripped threads before, and let me tell you, it's not fun. But there's also a reason for that. Talking about stripping threads, you'll see why I opt in to convert from a bolt to a stud. For the ones who have a keen eye, I'm removing nuts, not bolts. Alright, so as I can see, these have been converted. Alright, and the reason why is that is when I first put in my this is the 3mm spacer. Okay, when I first put that spacer in and I threaded my bolts, everything was fine. I took off the tire once, twice, 3 times, let's say, whatever. But on the 4th time, it seems like the bolt went in just the wrong way, and almost every actually bolt went in the wrong way. The stripping just a little bit of the thread. So I had to buy a thread chaser, clean up the threads in the hub, and then bought brand new bolts from Mercedes, very expensive for some bolts. And then when I thread it manually as is, it goes fine. As soon as I put the tire or the wheel, even the original one, that's the one I just took off, it was going on an angle, and I wanted to strip the threads again. So I said, screw that. So what I opted to do is I've got me a conversion kit from Euro Tuning, I believe. Yep, Euro Tuning. These are 48mm long and 68 overall. I had to use the lathe machine that I have a friend of mine that has a machine shop, so they let me use the lathe machine, and I cut down these parts where you actually use it to tie the bolt down, because it was still too long. So when I was putting the bolt, even with the spacer, it was actually bottoming out. Okay, and it was giving me just kind of a, I don't know, maybe millimeter and a half of free play. So the wheel wasn't sitting correctly, so I had to cut down just that part, and this is the shortest one they sell. So my guess is maybe 5mm spacer if you use the 48mm stud. All right, just simply put red Loctite here, slot it in, and I used 2 nuts that I bought from Ace Hardware, lock them in together, and really crank this I think I don't know, I think it was like 90 foot-pounds. So they're really in. So that is that. If you want to do the conversion, actually this is a fairly easy job, and it's very easy removing the wheel on and off if you're planning to do it multiple times. And there's very little chance stripping these guys, and even if you do, this is steel and the nut is actually aluminum. So if you strip a thread, you're gonna strip the nuts, so you can just replace that in the future if that happens, and that will save you quite a bit of headache. Yeah, so that being said, let's move on to the coilovers. It's almost 69mm. All right, so the overall bolt is 68mm, 48mm long, I believe is 45 48 is from the bottom of the thread to the top. So if you use a 3-inch spacer, which actually fills in the gap just perfectly, I even opt in, I don't know, maybe I know you're not gonna get away with it, but you're gonna have to trim this down a little bit. And this is even sold for C43, 450, all those, right? You're gonna have to trim a little bit on the top. Maybe not as aggressive as me, but I left, let's see, I left about one, two, three, four. So I left 4 millimeters. The 4 millimeters will be here. So I've cut down total of 6 millimeters off this bolt. Okay. In a recap, I'm using a Euro tuning stud conversion kit. This is 48 millimeters long from here to here, and overall 68 millimeters long. Okay, 68 here and 48 here, but I still found it that the top is a little bit too much, so I cut down 7 millimeters from that. Okay, that made the wheel fit snug and proper, and I'm able to use the 3 millimeter spacer and still have plenty of thread. If I can see how much actually the nut threads in here, I can fairly see it's about just about there. That is 20 millimeters of thread, okay, that goes in here, so it ain't going nowhere. So yeah, if you're planning to use bigger wheel spacers, more than 5 millimeters, okay, use the long bolts, which are let's see, which are 75 millimeter overall. Okay, these are the longer ones, and they will probably fit you, and if not, you just have to trim a little bit from the top. All right, let's talk about the spacers. With my current setup, okay, my front wheels are 19 by 8.5 and the rear are 19 by 9.5. Okay, I don't use any spacers in the back because it fits perfectly, because now 19.5 I'm able to fit in to 65 tire, so it actually fills in the gap pretty good. But I did find that I need to use a 3 mil spacer in the front, which close the gap pretty good. All right, something about the tires. All right, and let me show you. So front is 225 40 90. All right, and this is the original size. This is what came with the car, and these are the Continental Extreme contacts. Very good tires, by the way. On the rear, if you deviate from the original, which is 255 40, you're gonna have to actually change your size. We're gonna change actually the height. So if you're running in the back a wider wheel, wider tire as well, it's gonna be 265 35 19. The reason for that is your all-wheel drive. If you put 265 40 19, it will cause an issue. So here you go. I use H&R Springs. I think they're made in Germany. Yeah, it says 100% made in Germany, whatever that means. So these I got from eBay, and they lower the car by 1.2 inches, and I think it's just right. But if you ask me, if it lowered by 1.1 inches, that would have been even better, because sometimes you have to be careful with the speed bumps and all that stuff. All right, another thing that I've done also is when I lower the car, my alignment was terrible in the front. The back was fine, okay? The front was an issue. So I was recommended some bushings from K-Mac, and I'll show you that shortly. But K-Mac has a adjustable right there bushing that you can put in, and it will fix your toe. All right, and it comes two types of bushings, one for this lower control arm, all right there, and another one for this one, and it goes right here. I didn't change this one because I wanted to see if this were the lower control arm would be sufficient, and which it was. Okay, this was sufficient enough to fix the toe, and my tires are not being eaten away every 10,000 miles or less. But it also comes with this one. So here's the part number. So K-Mac, all right, these chaps are from Australia, down under, all right. This is the part number, and it can fix your negative or positive camber up to 1.5 degrees and all that. Here's the ones that I did not replace. Okay, this is what it looks like. The lower control arm bushing is actually a bit smaller, and it comes with its tools. Well, here's the actually original one that I've replaced. It looks like that. All right, it comes with some tools. All right, you can push out the small ones easily, but I would recommend not to use power tools, because you see what happens to the nut, right? And if you're gonna use this original tool, since it is okay, it's a bit flimsy, not really thick steel here, make sure that it goes in correctly. It doesn't go in an angle, because if you have a slight angle like that, you're gonna be screwed. You're gonna dig in right into the lower control arm, and once it goes sideways, it's not going back to the way it's supposed to be. So yeah, push from one side, pull from the other, and it's out. It did came with these guys. They're supposed to stay right where the lower control arm is, so they're supposed to be like that, and right in if you remove the bolt. But I didn't, for the love of God, I could not find a way how they go, and anyway I put them in, no matter which one was it just did not fit perfectly. I'm assuming this is for the like the bolt not to back up or have some kind of play in the bushing, but I've been driving this for more than 10,000 miles now the way it is, and it's been perfect. Alignment is right on point. So yeah, going to lower your car, you need to get the K-Mac. Obviously I'm not sponsored by this, I bought this myself. They're not cheap. I think $400 and some. They come from Australia, so you're gonna wait maybe 2 weeks to receive those. So yeah, if you don't know how to do it yourself, I highly suggest someone else install it for you. They asked me for 2,000 grand to install 4 bushings. Obviously I said no, and I did it myself. I took one bushing with this tool, and as you can see earlier, I showed you, it didn't hold too well, so I went and rented a bushing removal tool from a parts store, and that was much more heavy duty and helped me out there. So to recap, H&R Springs lowers the car by 1.2 inches. I have a conversion kit for a stud conversion kit, the K-Mac bushing to fix alignments, all right, and these wheels, which front is 19 by 8.5, and then the rear is 19 by 9.5. So that concludes all, my friends. Hope you enjoy the content. Yeah, this is cement, all right. I don't know when that I drove over cement, but yep, that is the cement there, if someone is wondering. Also, if you're wondering why I changed the original wheels, they crack very easy, and I must have repaired them at least 3 times, the fronts, and when I cracked the rear last time, and it was such a small crack, it was just losing air, I said that was enough for me. So I bought these guys from out of eBay. If you're interested, let me know. I'll send, I guess, pictures or the link where I got them from. They're a little bit heavier than the original wheels. I think was about 1.5 pounds or 1.2 pounds per wheel and tire setup, front and back. Not much difference, but it is a rotational mass, right? So yeah, I don't know if you are really chasing 0 to 60 numbers, probably these are not the wheels for you. But I've driven over accidentally deep potholes, and yeah, they held perfectly. No crack, no bends, no nothing. Yeah, I must have had this, I think, close to 10,000 miles now. So yeah, highly recommend those. Plus it is a nice design, but hard to clean because it's just too many small openings. So yeah, these get tied into 110 foot-pounds. Also, when you buy the stud conversion kits, you can choose the type of nut that you want, and it comes with its own sockets. That's it. S'accavò. Tutto finito. We're done. Now, in the next content, we will talk about my cluster, what I've done to it, and what's actually going to be done again. So stay tuned for that episode. Hopefully, and then we're gonna have to fix the Alcantara steering wheel. I had it for over 40,000 miles now. I managed to keep it clean for a very long time, so I wash my hands every time I get into the car, make sure there's no oils in my hands. But in the longer trips, your hands does sweat a little bit, so you can't really help it, and it got really dirty. So we're gonna try to revive it with actually taking it off, washing it under warm water and some soap. I did have some Alcantara cleaner that I tried multiple times before, but that did not work very well. So yeah, upcoming episode, stay tuned. All right, hasta la vista. All right, here's how the car looks after it's settled down. Fitments, again, this actually satisfies me pretty well. It's not sticking too far out. It's riding right on the money. And what I like about is the rear one. It's actually just looks deeper, and that one has no wheel spacer, and it's just perfect. All right.